English to Hindi Roman translation. The translators work at the Department of Hindi and Sanskrit, specializing on languages like Hindi and Sanskrit. After one day, they suddenly learn that there is no communication between the two languages. A woman's voice is calling me to her office. I am told that a translation from English to Hindi Roman is needed and I can be compensated with fame. The woman says that my previous translation was successful and they almost got the whole manuscript translated. I ask her if she knows the lineage of her family, and she says that her grandfather was a doctor. She is a professor but didn't ever get herself an academic degree. She has an older sister who taught her English in school but she never had an academic degree of any kind, yet she became a professor. The only thing she has is a book by Orwell, 1984. It was an obscure text, while hers was one of a kind, since it came out of the Second World War when political communication was not as formal. There are only 3 copies left somewhere in the world, whereas hers was made by the best typist in all of India. A research scientist is trying out his translation feature when a Portuguese Asian translator arrives. In the process of translating a short anecdote, he accidentally breaks the water, bursts into flames and dies. The narrator was a classmate who became obsessed with the poor English translations in magazines but didn't realize they had an intelligence that could be translated. He began to wonder if other humans were flawed too. When I was working on translation of the Quran, it completely changed my life. When I first started working on this translation, I didn't think it would become a massive project. Then one time while translating the Quran text, I was saying the higher you get in your profession the less you care about your work. And my whole head exploded. I woke up next to that computer with a red headband on, who said you will never be bored as you will never take your job as an important thing to bring pleasure to mankind. He got out of the chair and left. My wife came in after 10 minutes, asked me if anything happened in my dream and went back to her desk. She eventually quit translating for 7 years and went back to English only. This is loosely based on the 24-hour translators who would translate entire books in a foreign language over a span of 24 hours. What's funny is they'd communicate in short flashes to no one, then use a given day's work to train themselves to pick up new languages. The problem is, it's not as simple as adding A, B, and C. There are thousands of letters, thousands of sounds and hundreds of different words. And even more that are silent, koala bear and kamarai tree. It's easy for a translator to come up with 2 translations that may be similar to each other, but the biggest problem is multiple words which has so many meanings can't be translated at all. The hard part is understanding how you can try to improve one word by using another word, etc. It takes programmers years to figure out how sentences can be translated into different languages better than the original. I think academics must do as much.